So good night and welcome to another interview of the Shield in the Couch. Tonight with me, I have Jacob Björnfot from Kvaen. Did I say it correctly, right?
Well, yeah, it's good enough. I mean, if you want to say it in like the exact correct way, it's Kvaen.
Okay. Kvaen. Okay. Yeah, it's the Spanish being my first language. So
Right.
I know that you're set to unveil the new album, The Great Below, which is going to drop next week. And I already listened to it. So it's, I got a taste of what the new album is like. So first I want to ask you, when you started this solo project, if you will, in 2020, when you released your first album, The Funeral Pyre, how difficult was that to release, a new band, new album, and obviously we didn't know what was going to happen. How was that process like back in 2020 when you were putting this project together?
I was so ambitious about everything. I was so pumped up. I was so ready. I was like, yeah, it's now or never. So I didn't really think that much when I did everything. I'd say everything went smoothly. Like I was so pumped up. I had zero expectations about anything. I don't think I even understood really what it was like to release like a solo album or whatever you want to call it. But I tried to see beyond all the technical aspects and all the bureaucracy behind releasing an album and just doing it. Just having the album done and mixed and mastered and everything. And then, see what happens. That was it.
So when you put out that album, obviously without touring and everything being stopped, did you start working on The Great Below like back in when the lockdowns were taking place?
Well, not really, not necessarily the upcoming album, but I was certainly writing songs. Okay. And what happened was that I was just staying around and I was just getting these really cool reviews and everything, and I got kind of inspired. So I was like, I'm gonna try to write a few songs, because the initial plan was just to write the Funeral album and then just
tour with it.
Not even tour with it. Just maybe do, because I had a few shows that were booked. But the initial plan was just to release the album and just get it out of my head and then just drop the project and do something else. That was because this whole thing about doing a one-man band has been a dream of mine since I heard Bathory for the first time. And then getting to know that he was like a one-man show. And that was very inspiring to me, that, you can do pretty much everything by yourself, in terms of writing, songwriting, arranging, whatever. But then I realized that, I have all this really cool material lying around now that I had been working on after the Funeral Pyre, a few months after the release of the album. So I figured that, you know what, it feels good and I'm inspired. Let's just do a second album and see what happens.
So when you were in the writing process for this second album, how did you approach it differently from your first album, or did you approach every new album or project the same way?
Well, everything, I would say that it's with the Great Below, everything got different because there was a lot more money involved this time.
That's always good.
Well, it's good and bad because the good always comes with the bad.
Yeah.
But from the sales, from what I've heard, it's sold excellent so far. So I mean, that's what's a big relief, because every release that you do, if you're not, unless you're on like a major label, is always going to be more or less, it's a chance of, is it going to make it or not? Is the company gonna go with big loss because people think it's gonna suck, or is it gonna make it, big time? So far, so good. So
no,
yeah.
No, yeah, I heard the album, and I gotta say, this album is full of like special guests on it. And my question to you was like, when you were writing this material, did you already had in mind who you wanted to do guest like vocalist or guest soloing or other guest musicians to include on this album? Did you, when you were writing, like for example, when you were writing the Fire Within Him Burns, were you thinking of I don't know how you say his name, Berlef from Fintroll for this track, or did you first write it and then you think maybe it was something that it would fit his vocal style?
Yeah, definitely the latter part.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It was more like I finished the song, and then I was tracking vocals for it, like demo vocals for the drummer to have something, like having a bit more feeling when it's recording real drums. So I was recording the demo vocals, and I just realized that breath vocals is really it's really going to make the song even better. So we're friends. So I just texted him and said, hey, I really think that you should give this a go because it's going to sound fucking killer. And he's like, yeah, I can give it a shot.
Okay,
And
yeah,
the outcome, everything became so cool. So when I heard the final mix, I was like, yeah, that's so awesome, man.
yeah, and it's a great song, to end the album. And obviously having your vocals and his vocals, it created that, gave the song more depth, like I would say. Also, in this album, you had a different drummer. You had Tommi Tuhkala, while Fredrik Andersson was working with Amon Amarth. Does having that different drummer, did it influence the sound of the album at all? Like, did it change it? Because obviously different drummers, different styles.
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing was when you have one drummer, you can work in a more primitive and distinct way because he has a certain style. And I think that his style suited the songs perfectly instead of having like four drummers like on the first album. And that was not even the plan from the beginning, was not to have four drummers. My initial goal was to have one drummer. But the thing is that drummer went on tour, which I wanted. That drummer got injured at work, and that guy can make it. And so it became kind of chaotic. But in the end, I think those kind of details is what makes the funeral pyre in its entirety. But yes, for the Great Below, totally like having one drummer and working with him, like he came to my hometown and we rehearsed the songs, and I kind of instructed him on how I wanted certain things to be. I have never really worked like that before. Oh well, when I was younger and we were in the band, but yeah, it certainly shaped the sound, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was easier, like is one drummer of like having to having four drummers and everyone being so different, and everyone has different working styles. So the Great Below, I know the 8 songs, is there a constant theme running throughout the whole album, like a concept, if you will?
Well, like I've said in previous interviews, everyone's asking the same thing because it runs kind of like a concept album.
Yeah.
But it's not. I would not say it's a concept album, but I would say that the top 3 subjects on this album has been isolation, desperation, and suicide. And why that is because the whole album is basically about hitting the Great Below. By the beginning of the album, and then by the end of the album is swimming up to the surface, and overcome depression and suicidal thoughts and everything. That's what the whole album is about.
So it's the journey of a man, if you will, getting out of the Great Below and getting through it, basically, right?
Technically, yes.
In layman's terms. So obviously it has the sounds on this. There's a lot of there's black metal, there's thrash, there's speed metal. Is there like a style between these styles that you, when you start like writing the album, do you prefer like it to be more leaning on black metal, or you just go with the flow of how the songwriting comes about when you're doing it?
Definitely like more of how I like when I start writing a song. I don't think like I'm gonna write a black metal song. Whatever comes out naturally is definitely what I go with. And I mean, I have probably 20 songs that are just laying on my computer, and I don't know what to do with them because they didn't fit. They didn't fit the concept. They didn't fit the theme of the album, for example. Okay. So I definitely have like at least 2 albums in material, but I'm not sure if like all the songs are gonna be on like the upcoming stuff that I'm doing. But yeah, though totally, I just go with the flow and see what happens. And by the end of the day, I try to make make it everything go and work well together. It makes sense. Yeah.
So what would someone be like? What is like a type of music that you like that people would be surprised to know that you actually like it?
Like certain type of genres that people would be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big country western fan. Yes, I am. I'm a huge fan of everything from outlaw country to western swing. I also love gypsy jazz.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, for me, there's no bad music. There's just music that I don't like.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's reggaeton. I don't.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I can appreciate most stuff. Of course, there are things, style genres, or certain kind of like songs or whatever, or certain kind of chord progressions or whatever that I can't stand it. But somehow, it's come down to who you are, like musically or whatever, who you are as a person. For me, I try to absorb everything that I find great. I mean, I even love some 90s trance music. I mean, because I listen to it as a musician also sometimes, like, okay, how did they build up the songs? What kind of chord progressions did they use? Oh, you can find some really cool melodies there and arpeggios and whatever. That's cool. And,
no, it's great to find inspiration in different musical genres and, not define yourself by a musical genre. To me, I love the song In Silence. I think it was one of my favorite songs on the album. It's one of the longest songs too. What is that song about? And like, what are them? I know it's got like a little bit of prog to it. If you think like, I felt a little bit of prog elements in that song. What is In Silence, about?
Suicide.
If that's okay. Yeah. So
yeah, it's about basically us giving. It's basically us by giving up. Really, it's there's nothing positive about it. Like it's total darkness.
It's very bleak.
Yeah. There's nothing positive about it. Just having death breathing upon your neck, and you just give up basically. And you realize that death is the only exit out of everything. So yeah, that's what the song's about.
Okay. Other than that song, which are the ones that you would say that you? I know it's hard to pick a favorite song in an album, but do you have one that, if you would want someone to think about this album, the one that you would say this is the definitive song that defines this album?
Track number 6. And Somebody. Yeah.
The what? Sorry,
track number 6 and Somebody.
Okay.
It means lone wolf in Swedish.
Oh yes, I can. Yeah. So that's your favorite one of the album. So yeah. I want to show the artwork because I like showing the artwork here. I know a lot of interviews, I don't see many people showing and talking about the artwork, but I think the artwork here is very good. And I think very representative of the sound. Who worked on this artwork?
It was a guy that I came in contact with through, I think I found him on Instagram because he followed me on Instagram. And I saw that he liked some of my posts, and I checked him out, and the guy's name is Niklas Vebjörn Persson, and I just randomly clicked on his page and I saw that, damn, this guy's good. So I sent him a DM on Instagram and asked for his rates and what's his estimated time, like how fast can he do stuff. And he was like, "Wow, I love Kvaen. Kvaen's like so awesome, and the violin player is like spinning like continuously on my vinyl player." So we actually became friends.
No, that's very nice, and it's
Yeah.
I really like it. And is the fire part like an homage to your first album? Because there's the fire there.
Yeah, there's also the sulfur.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fire will always be a part of Kvaen, because fire has, of course, many different meanings, but I'm not going to go too much into detail about it.
Okay.
But definitely yes. And there's also, as you can see, like these kind of horns going. It's a part in northern Sweden, or this mountain. You can see like it's a tribute to a certain part of Sweden, even further up north.
And you can see the northern lights in the sky.
Yeah, that's also one of the things that you can see here almost, pretty much all the time when it's winter, during December to February. It's very popular. You can see it almost all the time. And then, of course, we have a sort of a reaper, taking more from Nordic mythology, and he has a trident, which is not a traditional trident, more of also a kind of a Nordic mythology based trident with elk horns.
There's a lot of detail in the album cover that you really need to look at it, but I think it represents the sound of this album very well.
It's cold. It's very cold.
Yeah, it really represented, and it's a cool album cover. So you were saying obviously that you have other material that maybe didn't sound like Kvaen, but since you like different genres, would you be like open to like having like a different side project where you can explore different types of music? Because I think that would be something cool, like something that you would put out, and obviously under a different moniker or name that people wouldn't expect from you.
Well, if I had a time and if I had another life, I would probably have 5 other bands doing it, like at least 5 other bands that I've been involved with and doing albums. Because I want to have a swamp, or I want to have an outlaw country band. I want to have an A&R band like Old Journey. I want to have.
Oh wow!
What else do I want to have? I would love to have an ambient project one day. I will do an ambient project one day for sure.
Yeah. Have you heard the new Blood Incantation album?
I have not.
It's really ambient. It really sounds like.
I know that a lot of people talked about it, like it's so weird, like this is not really what they expected or something.
But in the press releases they were saying that it was a concept album, more of like ambient. So maybe people, if they didn't read the press, but it really sounds like sci-fi. It could be like the soundtrack to a sci-fi a movie.
Right.
Really, it's really interesting. So you saying that you like ambient music, that's something that you can explore as well, because why limit yourself with music, especially when you're someone that obviously likes different styles. And when you mentioned country, I thought of Nergal of Behemoth. He has that other project where he does like Me and That Man, and he does more like dark type of country vibe. It's very interesting. So what are the plans now? I know that The Great Below it's going to be released next week, but I know that right now the touring is kind of halted. Is there plans to do a few shows once it's released, or right now are you still seeing how everything unfolds to take it on the road?
We have quite a few shows booked actually. Not a lot of them are confirmed, but those who are confirmed, or at least we're gonna do 3 shows in April with Månegarden from Sweden and Sornheim. So we're gonna play in Stockholm the 15th of April, and then 22nd and 23rd we're gonna play Linköping and Örebro, also in Stockholm. And then in May, we're gonna do a festival in Umeå, Sweden, called Outbreak of Evil Fest, I think it was called, where we are the CO headline act. And then it's summer, and we have some stuff coming up that's not it's not out there yet. And then we go into August, September. We have some festivals also, and in October also festivals. So we have stuff planned out throughout the whole year, basically.
Yeah, that's a great thing about Europe. The festivals in Europe are so grand. Here in the States, or like we don't have as many festivals as you guys have over there. And I think people over there are more used to listening to different festivals over there have all styles of metal involved. Like when you do festivals here, or for example, where I'm from, Puerto Rico, like people want to see just one style. And if you bring a band that's totally different, people will get mad. But yeah, it sounds great that you're going to tour with it. So I know that you have pre-orders for the album, and I saw that you have it on vinyl. Where can people that are interested get it ordered?
Well, you can find it pretty much anywhere, actually. If you prefer to order it from Bandcamp, it's available there. I'm not sure how many copies are left, because the status I got from the distributors is running really low right now.
Well, that's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass to get a restock because of the current queue and everything.
Yeah.
But
you can blame Adele for that.
Yeah, or ABBA.
Or ABBA, yeah, for putting so many copies and making everyone else wait. Yeah, but no, it's a good thing that obviously it's been selling and it's getting a good reception, and it's a very solid album. I listened to it the whole way through. It's fun. It's got different styles, so I think everyone that likes black metal with thrash and speed metal will actually love it. So again, Jacob, I want to thank you for taking some time to talk with me today, and hopefully everything goes well, and maybe you can do that ambient project soon, so people can listen to it.
Oh yeah, man! I already have my keyboard and shit ready to go. I just need to find the time and proper inspiration. So I think I'm gonna isolate myself in a cabin about 130 kilometers north of where I live. Just stay there for a week or something. Just play chords. Do experimental shit.
Yeah, maybe you can do like an ambient record, inspired, being the cabin, being like The Shining.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like that type of feeling. So Jacob, again, it was great chatting with you a little bit, and everyone get that album, The Great Below, March 25th. And until next time, this is Hector the Shield Dude in the Couch, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.